Most landscaping businesses wind up losing more money from missed opportunities than from bad marketing. And it's not because the demand or interest isn't there, it's because the business isn't built to capture that demand or that interest consistently. And today I want to walk through the real cost of missed calls, slow responses, and inconsistent follow-up using simple math so you can see why this matters. So let's start with missed calls. For many landscaping companies, phone calls are still the highest intent leads. Someone isn't typically going to call into a business unless they have a real need or real problem that you can solve. Now, let's say that your business gets around 10 inbound calls per week from marketing and referrals. Let's say you're running a small budget, right? And if you miss just 3 of those calls and never reconnect, that's 30% of your highest intent opportunities that are gone immediately. Now let's apply some basic numbers. If your close rate on inbound calls is 30%, missing 3 calls likely means losing 1 booked job per week. And if the average job value is around $1,500, that's $6,000 per month in lost revenue. And again, it's not because the demand didn't exist, it's because the call wasn't captured. And now let's layer in something like response time. Industry data consistently shows that responding to inquiries within the first 5 minutes will dramatically increase the likelihood of booking and getting the job compared to responding 30 minutes later or an hour later. But most landscaping companies are not responding consistently. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes it's after lunch. Sometimes it's literally the next day. And that inconsistency creates a lot of unpredictable results. Now, let's talk about maybe form fills on your website. Let's say you receive 20 form fills per week on your website. If you respond immediately, you might convert 20 to 30%. But if you respond hours later, that might drop to 5 to 10%. And at a $50 cost per lead, the same marketing spend can either produce steady jobs or barely break even. It's depending entirely on your response timing, okay? That's not an ads problem. That's an execution problem that you need to solve with automations and systems. Next, I want to talk about follow-up. See, most landscaping jobs aren't necessarily won on the first message or first inbound call. Homeowners are actively comparing options, they're waiting on estimates from other companies, or they just straight up get busy. If there's no structured follow-up, the opportunities are going to quietly disappear, and it's not because the homeowner said no. It's because no one actually checked in with them. And this is where the math gets a little uncomfortable. If you send 10 estimates per week and only follow up on half of them, you're leaving 5 decisions completely to chance. And if even one of those would have closed with proper follow-up, that's another lost job every single week. Over a month, that's 4 jobs that you've lost. And over a year, that's nearly 50 opportunities that you have lost. And the thing is that most owners, you won't feel that loss all at once, right? But what they will feel is that their marketing is inconsistent and it's not producing any results. But in reality, it's the system that is inconsistent, right? So let's look at all 3 as an issue, because most of the businesses have all 3 as an issue, whether it's missed calls, slow responses, and unfollowed estimates. Individually, each one can feel small, like it's not that big of a problem, I can maybe outwork this, but together they start to compound and they stop your business from scaling. And this is why some landscaping companies spend the same amount of marketing as others, but get wildly different results. It's not about the effort, the funnel, the offer, it's about the capture and your systems on the back end that allow you to create urgency. The businesses that grow predictably don't rely on memory. They're relying on structure, where every call is logged, every customer immediately gets a response in some way, whether it's an AI caller or a text message or email follow-up. Every estimate needs a follow-up path. You need to have this in place in order to generate revenue consistently from your advertising. So the main takeaway here is this: marketing doesn't stop when the leads dry up. It stops working when the opportunities stop being managed correctly. And if you want to understand how much revenue is actually leaking in your business due to things like missed calls, slow response, or inconsistent follow-up, then the only way to see it is to clearly map the process. That means looking at how many opportunities are coming in, how quickly they're responded to by either your system or your team, how many qualified leads get followed up with, and how many quietly slip through the cracks. And once you see the numbers, the fixes usually become obvious. And this is the difference between guessing why growth feels inconsistent and knowing exactly where revenue is lost. So if you want us to take a look at your systems and help you understand where the cracks are, I want you to click the link down in the description and book a call with us. We'll do a marketing and systems audit. We call it a job flow systems teardown. And what we'll be doing is taking a look at your response time, taking a look at your CRM, taking a look at your marketing, and just seeing where the gaps are, where the leaks are, what's working well and what needs improvement. And whether you work with us or not to fix your systems, you'll leave the call with a roadmap that goes into great detail on what you need to fix and how you can improve your business so that it can scale the way that it needs to. So I've been Charles. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.